Hi, we're going to be talking about the prevalence of presarcopenia among U.S. racial and ethnic groups. I'm Krithi.
I'm Vishal.
I'm Ranjana.
And I'm Zach, and we are the Supernovas.
We found that Asian Americans have the greatest prevalence of presarcopenia, around 21%, compared with other racial and ethnic groups. So presarcopenia is characterized by low muscle mass, while sarcopenia is characterized by low muscle mass and low muscle strength and performance. So why is diagnosing sarcopenia important? Well, the prevalence of sarcopenia is greater than 10% among those older than 65, and around 1/5 of the US population will be older than 65 by 2050. And sarcopenia has been linked with all-cause mortality, injuries, morbidity, weakness, and risk of falls. So we don't know, so presarcopenia is a predictor of sarcopenia, and we do not know the prevalence of presarcopenia among Asian Americans. Therefore, we explored the prevalence of presarcopenia among US adults aged 18 to 59 across various racial and ethnic groups from 2011 to 2018, stratified by socio-demographic, socioeconomic, self-reported health, and anthropometric body composition measures.
Our study is a cross-sectional secondary analysis using the enhanced dataset from 2011 to 2018, and our sample size were American adults aged 18 to 59 years with dual energy X-ray absorptiometry or DEXA data among various racial and ethnic groups. DEXA uses energy beams to measure muscle mass, and we calculate the appendicular lean mass index by summing the lean mass of all 4 limbs divided by the square of height. If ALF index is less than 7 kg per meter square for men, less than 5.5 kg per meter square for non-Asian women, or less than 5.4 kg per meter square for Asian women, we classify it as presarcopenia. And then we did a bivariable analysis to calculate prevalence estimates, as well as multivariable logistic regression to find the association between variables.
So moving to our results, what we first did was look at the prevalence of presarcopenia across different racial and ethnic groups in the United States overall, by sex and by the different age groups. And what we can see here is that across all age groups, the lowest prevalence of presarcopenia is found among Black Americans, and that the highest prevalence of presarcopenia is found among Asian Americans. Again, whether you be looking overall by sex or by the different age groups. And so moving to our logistic regressions, we can see various protective factors or risk factors for presarcopenia. So we can see some of the risk factors include being female, being older, specifically the 40 to 59 age group compared to those 18 to 39. Another risk factor is being part of the non-Hispanic Asian demographic, whereas a protective factor is being part of the non-Hispanic Black American population. And then we can also see that a risk factor is having a fair to poor dietary health, having low physical activity levels, and then another protective factor is being obese compared to those with the normal or below BMI. And that is for all adults in the United States. Whereas when we look at Asian American adults, we can see that the only significant protective and risk factors are a low physical activity level, that being a risk factor for having a higher odds of presarcopenia, whereas again, another protective factor is being obese compared to normal or below BMI.
So in conclusion, when looking at our results, we see that Asian Americans have a significantly higher prevalence of presarcopenia in comparison to the other racial and ethnic groups. When looking within all adults and not considering race, we recognize the need to target females, older populations, people who have or report a poor dietary health, have low physical activity, or are underweight / have a normal BMI. When looking just at Asian American adults, they follow the same trends, specifically highlighting the need to target people with low physical activity levels and those who are underweight or have normal BMI. So now that we've recognized these groups, they should be targeted through screening and intervention programs, such as evidence-based exercise programs to reduce the sarcopenia burden in the United States. Thank you all for listening, and we hope to see you soon.